Hey everyone, so we've been dealing with a little bit of a leaky garbage disposal here. I took a look at it and found out that there's actually a hole that's been kind of rusted and corroded through on the back of it. So in this video I'm going to show you quickly how to go about replacing that. It's not as difficult as you think, but let's get started. Before you do anything, make sure to always disconnect it from power. First thing we actually need to do is disconnect it from the existing plumbing. So I'm going to take off this nut here so that this can be removed. And then also this just turns counterclockwise and then this will drop right off. Then they give you this tool here that makes it really easy to turn this off of the existing mounting bracket. Just like that, it's removed. And then we'll need to unwire it from the existing because we're going to use this same cord to plug into the new one. And just to save me a little bit of hassle, instead of trying to take the new pipe and make sure it fits correctly and have to cut it, I'm just going to take the old one off and reuse it. Okay, we've got our new one here, so now we're just going to reverse those steps, starting by wiring in the existing cable connector into the new garbage disposal. And then while I've got it flipped upside down, if you ever have an issue where your garbage disposal just gets stuck and you hear just a humming sound when you try to run it, if you just take that tool that came in the box and you insert it down here and then you just give it a couple of turns back and forth, that will actually unjam anything that's keeping it stuck. Off the plate here to get access to the wires. Now we're going to need to stick the wires from the existing cable that we had through this hole here and then wire those back up. Before we do that though, we need to have this tool here, this cable connector, that's going to protect these from getting exposed to these sharp edges here and just to help hold it in place safely. So first I'm going to thread this through before I try to go ahead and attach that. Okay, then stuff those all back in there. Then replace that housing back down. And you'll also need to tighten this cable connector. Right now it can slide freely in and out. So we'll just tighten these two screws here. Give it another couple turns. You don't want to make it too tight, but now it should be snug to the point where this isn't going to keep slipping in and out. Okay, with it flipped back over, now we're ready to reattach the connection tube. I cleaned that up a little bit before putting it back on. Slide that piece over. Then you'll stick the gasket in before you connect the extension tube. Now in my case, I'm going to keep this same mounting bracket, so I just need to take my new garbage disposal, and then I'm going to slide this ring up on there, and then this twist to lock it in place. And you'll use that same tool you used in the beginning to remove the old one to tighten the new one. Then just get your pipe back into position. Then you're ready to set up the plumbing again. Okay, so to reconnect the plumbing, first we need to slip on the nut that's going to end up connecting to the existing pipe, and then after that we're going to slot on this ring here that creates the watertight seal. Okay, then we're going to twist that into place, slide up that existing plumbing, and you want to only hand turn this. You don't want to use any tools where you're going to end up snapping the nut off. Okay, and then the last piece we took off, we need to reattach this elbow. And what you'll find is it's better to loosely connect these at first until you get them all in place, and then you'll go ahead and hand tighten them. Okay, now that we've got everything plumbed back up, just want to run some water on both sides of the faucet, make sure I tightened all that up correctly. So just to check for leaks, switch sides. You can see that there's no water on any of those connections, so everything seems to be working well. Water's running through the disposal correctly, and the last thing to check is to make sure that the disposal is running. So I'll go ahead and plug the new disposal back in. Turn that on. And everything seems to be working great.